Hi there. So, I believe we spoke on the phone, but you're here today to sort of set the final details for your event in the fall, is that correct? Great. Um, so, just spell your name for me one more time so I can check my records. And remind me how many people you're expecting at your event. Okay, perfect. So, what we're going to do today is go over our options for the various parts of the meal. I'll list everything we have, and then generally you'll choose some number of them that sound the best to you. Then we'll set a later date, sort of to finalize that, and so that you can try everything. I know it would be more convenient today, but this is kind of preliminary. That way, for the tasting, if you tell us, for example, that you really definitely don't like fish, we won't have that there. So it works out that way. And when we do the tasting, you can bring up to 2 friends with you. So we'll start with appetizers. Just so you know, we do, as part of our catering service, have a salad bar regardless. So you'll notice there's not many sort of raw fruits and vegetables in the appetizers and things that I'll list. That's because they're all part of the salad bar. There's everything you'd expect. There's lettuce, spinach, hard-boiled eggs, all the, mushrooms, carrots, etc. And, a variety of salad dressings. We also have, as part of the salad bar, a fruit salad. A regular one, which is sort of strawberries, cantaloupe, and a special tropical one, which has kiwi, pineapple, and some slightly more exotic fruits. So, that will be there regardless of what you choose. So, for appetizers, first of all, are you going to be sort of sitting down at that point, or are you envisioning more of a milling around scenario in which we bring the food to you on trays? Okay, great. I'll note that down. Just so you know, it is the same choices. I just need to know so we can have that in our records. So, I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but for this one, you're going to be picking 4 or 5 out of 10 options. So, we have a pretty extensive list of specialties. We try to cater to both meat eaters and vegetarians, so you'll notice most lists I'll end with vegetarian options and at least one vegan option. So let's begin. Alright, we'll start with sort of our more comfort foods. The first one is deviled eggs with bacon. So these are pretty typical, what you'd think when I say deviled eggs. So that's mayonnaise, Dijon mustard, there's some scallions, some black pepper for seasoning, and then they're going to have little bits of bacon sprinkled on top. So we can also do that without the bacon if you have someone who will eat eggs but not meat. And that's pretty self-explanatory, so that's number 1. Number 2, this is quite a popular one. It's pretty simple, and we'll get to some more, elegant things later. But this one is mini hamburgers or sliders. So we get really good reviews on these. They're about the size of if you put your thumb to your middle finger. They can be made as mini hamburgers, or without, or cheeseburgers, or without. And we can also do either a veggie burger option or a portobello mushroom option. So these can be vegetarian as well. So those are our two sort of maybe most comfort food type things. Our next option is a mini tart with spinach and goat cheese. So that's going to have the goat cheese, of course, but also some Parmesan flavor, some garlic, a tiny bit of lemon flavored, some chives, and it's all on phyllo dough. So it's a bit lighter than a quiche, but you've got that same nice, doughy texture or flakiness if you like, that sort of thing. And who doesn't? So that's that. And of course, I'll give you a list of these things too later on, so don't worry about memorizing them. Just think through, what appeals to you. Next we have crab cakes, mini crab cakes, I should say. These have got a special cucumber pineapple salsa on them. Maybe that sounds a little bit odd to you, but I can promise it's delicious. They're made with real crab, of course. They've got some mayonnaise, some Dijon mustard again, some red pepper, and butter. So we partner closely with the actual fishermen from whom we get our seafood. We can guarantee that everything is fresh. Alright, so the fourth option is going to be cream cheese and olive biscuits with an olive oil spread. Getting a little bit fancier, maybe, depending on your view. These have olives, of course, capers, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, some parsley, and that's about it. The biscuits are not so much like the phyllo dough, but a bit crunchier. Our next option, another seafood choice, is a shrimp bruschetta, and that's got tarragon and arugula. It's got olive oils, tomatoes, a little bit of white wine. And we can also do a vegetarian bruschetta if that's preferable. Alright, so our next item is bacon wrapped dates. These are dates that are stuffed with pistachios and then wrapped in bacon. So next we've got a sweet potato and sausage skewer. These are mini skewers with cubes of sweet potato and spicy smoked sausage. They've also got some pepper and olive oil. So those are it for the options with meat. The next three options will be vegetarian. So we've got stuffed mushrooms with pecans. Those have also got Parmesan cheese and basil, some garlic. Those are one of my personal favorites. Next we've got guacamole and chips. We can do tortilla chips, or if you prefer, and if you don't choose it for the next option, we can do pita bread too. So I highly recommend guacamole, partly because it's good and partly because everyone can eat it. It's a vegan option. It's great for you. So simpler option is just a red pepper hummus. And again, that comes with the toasted pita triangles that you can get with the guacamole, or you can get it with some whole wheat crackers. Alright, so lots of options there. So in addition to these appetizers, we also have soups. So these count as a separate category. And here there's 6 of them. You can pick 2 or 3 of the 6. The first soup is a New England clam chowder. It's a creamy soup, of course, with clam and bits of bacon. It's also got onion and potato. Again, we can guarantee that these are fresh clams from our partner companies. So, clam chowder is number 1. Our second option is a French onion soup. In its basic form, this is not vegetarian because we do use beef broth, but we can modify it if you are interested. Of course, the main ingredient being onion. Then it's got French bread and lots of Swiss cheese. Our third soup is a creamy potato soup with bacon. Unfortunately, that one cannot be made without the bacon, so it is a meat-only option. Okay, so our fourth option is a butternut pumpkin soup. This is my personal favorite. It's got ginger flavor, so it's a little bit spicy, also very sweet. It's got apple in it in addition to the pumpkin and sweet potato, and a bit of onion that adds flavor without being very noticeable. Next we've got a broccoli and cheese soup. That one sort of speaks for itself. It's very creamy and delicious. And then finally we have another option that is vegetarian that can be made vegan. So that's a creamy tomato basil. It is made with real cream. And of course, if you choose the vegan option, that's going to be made with a substitute. Okay, so let's move on to our main dishes. So for this, you're going to pick 3 of the 8 options. We find that 3 is a good number. That way every guest can usually find something that appeals to them. Alright, so our first main dish is actually sort of 2. It's either a chicken pot pie or a beef pot pie. So this is your pretty typical home style pot pie. It's got a really buttery, flaky crust. It's got peas, carrots, whichever meat you choose, and some other vegetables, some onions. So that's number 1. Our second main dish is a honey ginger salmon. And that one's got roasted asparagus on the side with a lemon caper sauce. Our third choice is a ribeye steak. This comes with glazed carrots on the side. Fourth is veal meatballs. These come in a red wine sauce with spinach on the side. And then fifth is a lemon chicken piccata. And that comes with rice. So now we'll do a couple of vegetarian options. First, we've got an eggplant parmesan, which is made with fresh mozzarella. Next, we've got a pasta dish, because no meal would be complete, or no list would be complete without at least one. So this one is fettuccine with roasted butternut squash. It's got brown sugar and sage on it. And lastly, and this one is a vegan option, we have a mushroom and leek risotto. Okay. So this is going pretty fast. Again, you'll have time to taste the things and decide for sure. So after main dishes, of course, comes my favorite thing, which is dessert. So don't worry about choosing coffee, tea, all of that. We have, just like this with the salad bar, a number of set options, pretty much anything that one could want in that department. So we do have espresso and herbal teas, as well as caffeinated teas. So that will all be available at the same time as dessert. And then for the desserts themselves, what you're going to do is choose 3 or 4 of our 8 options. So our first option is an apple tart. This consists of thinly sliced apple on a puff pastry with a drizzle of caramel sauce on top. Alright, next is a lemon tart. That one's a little more sour, of course. Still sweet, but I guess more citrusy. It doesn't have caramel sauce, but it is still quite good. Our next choice is a chocolate mousse cake. So pretty self-explanatory there too, but it is a very rich, sort of fudgy tasting chocolate. Our next option is a raspberry cheesecake that's got raspberry glaze, or glaze on the raspberries rather, because there are whole raspberries on top of it. So, raspberry cheesecake, that's number 4. Number 5 is a chocolate hazelnut and salted caramel tart. So everything is made by us. The hazelnut flavoring comes from crushed hazelnuts, but so it's going to taste, I would say, better than Nutella, but if you want a comparison, that's the general flavor. 6th, we have a carrot cake, and this one can be made vegan if you specify beforehand. We also have a pumpkin pie, which is not vegan but can be made so. And finally, we have a strawberry sorbet. So that's a nice kind of lighter option. It's made with ice rather than cream, so it's kind of a good palate cleanser if you're full from all that other food. And that one is vegan. Okay, so that's everything. I hope that you heard some things that appealed to you. Because this is a question I get a lot, I'll address it now, which is that we do have a full bar, so any drinks that your guests might want to request, you'll choose at the time of the event, of course, or rather when we're in further planning stages, exactly where the bar will be. But we have highly trained bartenders. I can give you a list of special cocktails later, but they can make all of the ones that you would normally expect. In addition to that, in our further meetings, we can discuss decoration. We have a lot of standard, sort of warm, welcoming fall decorations. So I would recommend some decorative gourds. We've got candles of many different sorts. So again, create kind of a warm, gentle atmosphere in which your guests can enjoy all of this food and, of course, the event itself. Okay, great. So, if you'll just follow me this way, um, you can talk to the person at the desk over there, and she will help you finalize the date for your tasting and when we can talk about more planning for the event. Great. Well, thanks for stopping by, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.